Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Last Republic of the People. I hope everybody's doing well. I want to talk today about the Second Amendment. Big subject, always is. Second Amendment. A well regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Pretty self explanatory to me. So this was written in 1791, or ratified into our Constitution in 1791. We were a revolutionary era country at that time. I understand that. Militias were a big key to winning the war against and getting our independence from Britain. So during that time, you had the Federalists, you had the Anti-Federalists, you had the North and South militias, and really didn't have an army. We were working on it. We had the Colonial Army, and it was George Washington, and there was definitely armies, but they were new. They were a new army, and they were losing. If it wasn't for militias, I think militias saved the war and actually helped us win the war. Even though you read about the taking over in Carolinas and stuff by Washington and all that, and the French. And honestly, I think the militias were the key. I think militias and they're not regulated. So regulated. That's that word right there. So is it regulation, policy, or is it preparedness and ready to go and at a moment's notice and everything's functional? At the time that it was written, it meant preparedness and ready to go and organized. And that's why it was written that way. So it was even debated then that it should be regulated with laws. It's been the debate on our Second Amendment since it was written. And it hasn't ended. So now, how do I get someone to believe in that guns are bad or guns are evil or that we should have more control on guns? Mass shootings. We are a era of see it on TV, see it on the media, see it on internet. We want to see it. We want to think that we're there and that we can control it and that we're part of it. So how else to effectively get people involved but to show it on TV like a movie? I don't know if these guys, we've had a lot of shootings in the last couple of decades of our country. America has one of the highest rates of serial killers. Juarez, I think, right the border there. It's Juarez and El Paso. It's really bad. Anyway, when let's say that I believe in regulating with policy. So if you regulate with policy, who does that affect? Who is being regulated? So you put laws. You can't have this. You can't have that. You got to do this. You got to have a background check. You got to have that. You got to do blood work. You got to prove that you're sane. All these things that you have to do. Do you think now, honestly, do you think a criminal, a thug, is going to follow those procedures? He's going to give his ID. He's going to buy that gun, pay taxes on it, do the whole nine legally, and then take that gun and go rob a bank? No, he's not. He's going to buy the gun on the black market in a trunk from somebody he doesn't know. The serial numbers are going to be taken off of it, and he's going to go buy that gun. So he's not affected by any regulation or policy you put out there. Because honestly, everything that's a law, they break. It's kind of in the word criminal. So let's take the law-abiding citizen who went to hunter safety and went and showed his ID and served his country and went and purchased a firearm. Now he's being taxed or going to be taxed, or they want to tax, or they don't want him to have this, or they don't want him to have that, or he may have this, or a red law thing here, or he's got to pay this, and you just can't outright have that type of firearm. Why? What did I do? Except invoke my right. I didn't do anything. I'm not out shooting people. I'm protecting my home, which with the Heller precedent, you can. It's stated that you can. Now you got the Supreme Court. A couple weeks ago, they overturned a ban on assault weapons in Boulder. I think that's great. That's awesome. Cruz brings up his statements about this. He's not wrong, guys. Every time we start hearing in the wind, Second Amendment through media or whatever, we all get prepared for, oh man, somebody's going to get shot. Uh-oh, there's going to be a shooting. And I'll be damned if there isn't. And I don't want nobody to get killed, man, but we've thought this. I know you thought this. I saw postings 2 months ago. No, it's about time for a shooting since we've already destroyed the First Amendment. That's not stuff to joke about, and that's not stuff I want to joke about. But there is some validity to it, I think. As soon as you start hearing anything about gun controls or the gun control laws or restrictions put on, there's this mass shooting. Now, immediately, this guy, this Al-Sawahi guy, or whatever in Boulder, was immediately all posts removed from social media, except for like in the first day. And if you saw any of it, and I saw a couple of clips, but he's on liberal sites. He's bashing Trump. He's bashing Republicans. He's bashing conservatism. He's bashing our Constitution. He's not about this country. He came from Syria in 2008-ish with under the Obama regime, and with all of his things from Syria. We got a bunch of bad people from Syria. We got one in office right now too. She's a crazy. Anyway, so this man's from Syria. Immediately, he said the media, CNN, he's a white supremacist. He's a white man. He's a Trump. He wasn't. He was a Syrian-born national who hated America, hated our Constitution, hates Trump, hates Obama, hates them all. He's an ISIS sympathizer, and he's a Syrian-born national who supports terrorism. He's the one that shot people in Boulder. Okay, he's not white. He's a Syrian. He doesn't like us. Many don't. Many don't like us. So is it out of the realm to think that a corrupt politician or government have people that they can activate to do things like this? Sleeper cells, absolutely. Chemical reactions, Manchurian candidate crap, conspiracy stuff. Can we be brainwashed? I know what they did to us in the military. I know what they talked to us. I know what they trained us. I know what guys like. I have friends that have done some stuff that they can't discuss. They're not the same guys, man. So did war change them? Did my government change them? Were they brainwashed? They're different now. And it's unfortunate. I got some buddies that are pretty screwed up from some of the things that have happened. So is it possible that we have some Joe Blow from Syria that, hey man, it's your time. Make it happen. All is proud. And he goes out and does his thing and kills 10 people, and all of a sudden Whitey's blamed. It's white supremacy, it's race, and let's get rid of their guns. There's a pattern to this, guys. There really is. And I hate to say it, but our government is willing to do whatever they want and whatever they can to take over your rights, your freedoms, and put you under the government umbrella of control. They want us to be welfare states. They want to take care of everything. You guys see it. You've watched it. You've seen the last 20 years. How come every time there's a shooting, they start talking about gun regulations? Now, fortunately, we still do have some people that believe in this stuff, and Supreme Courts and lawmakers and legislators who don't allow a lot of these things to happen and still say we have the right to bear arms. As long as we have that, we're good. But it may come down to just you and I making that decision for ourselves. Hence why everybody's buying so many guns. Record sales the last 2 years. If you want to choose to believe in the media crap and they want to tell you how to live and how to act and how to do this and how to do that, then you're going to follow that suit and you're going to be brainwashed and you're going to be one of them. And you won't care and they'll take everything away from you. I care. I don't want anything taken away from me that I don't want taken away from me. If I don't want something, I won't get it. If I don't want to be around something, I won't be around something. But to start regulating and putting policy against a right that we all have is tyranny. It's unconstitutional. It's oppression. It's all of the things that are bad. So if I can't speak about it, my First Amendment, which we've seen in the last couple of years, the destruction and the horrible treatment of our First Amendment. Now they're going after the Second, and they've been going after it for a while. They've been going after it for 200 years. But now they have video and TV and shock and awe, if you will, clips to show people to try to get them, oh man, maybe we shouldn't have guns in this country. Oh man, maybe, well, look at, this guy just killed 10. You know what? The guy did it. The gun didn't do it. The gun has nothing to do with it. Okay? If he wanted to do it, he'd blow him up. He'd use a bomb. He'd use a knife. So to regulate something that can't control itself is stupid. Okay? Red laws are stupid. Y'all have the right to defend yourselves. If someone bad has a gun, thank God I have one to defend myself against him. Okay? Look it up yourselves. Look at all these cities and states that have regulations against guns. They're the highest gun violence places there is. There's more gun shootings. Chicago. How many people die every week in Chicago? How many people have died this year in Chicago? All from guns, all in black on black communities. How many? And how come? And they're all very strict gun laws there and gun restrictions. You can't, but they're being shot with the very same guns that their states and their politicians say they can't have, or they're not allowed to have. They're illegal, but yet they have them. And they're shooting and they're killing themselves. It's not the guns, guys. It's the people. The people. The people. I can't say it anymore, So, I hope you own a gun. I took hunter safety. I grew up hunting and fishing. I've never pulled my gun on a human being, ever. I've had it on me many times. I've never shot anyone, and I don't intend to. But I have the right to protect myself. I have a gun within 5 feet anywhere in my house, and so does my wife, and she's proficient, and I'm proficient, and yet they sit in their cases and they don't do anything. They just sit there, okay? So someone breaks in my house, it's, God help them. That's on them. They made a choice to put themselves in harm's way. So militias, lots of militias out there. I think militias are a good thing. You have the Oath Keepers, you have the 3%ers, you have a lot of law enforcement, ex-vets, ex-military, participating and keeping people safer in their cities and states and local communities. Military, like the anti-federalists, the federalists, they have that debate that one thinks that they should have an army and that should be what protects us, and the others think that we have the right to protect ourselves at the state and the local levels. I kind of agree with that. And these armies, yeah, we got to have an army. I love having the military, man, but they're to protect our borders. Yes, our borders, and they're to protect us as a country and to go to war and protect our capital, whatever the case it may be. But to protect us at local and state, that's not their job. Okay, that's our job. That's my job. That's your job. Okay? Local police, National Guard, things like anything that's local is local. State, government, federal, it's all separated. And it was designed that way. And just like I said in my last video, it's going to come down to us at the state level to fix these things. The feds are crazy. They're running amok. And us at the state level still do have the power. And the government, honestly, is still limited. It may seem like they're not, but they are limited because of us and because of what we do. So, state level, still talk to your congressman, still call them. You've got to be voicing it. Send a letter, leave a message, whatever you got to do. But talk to them about what you're seeing in this country, about our First Amendment, about our Second Amendment. It's going to have to come from the state level, all of this. To fix this and save our country, state level. Buy a gun if you don't have one. Take hunter safety. Learn to shoot. It's a tool. So if you misuse the tool, you're a tool. Okay? The tool itself doesn't do anything. And so, in my opinion, I'll leave it with this, a regulated militia is a prepared militia, not a policied law militia. So, hope all that made sense. That was my lesson on the Second Amendment today. Keep and bear arms. Go hunting. Support your family. Support your locals. Support your church. Support your country. Support your gun rights. Support your Constitution, your Bill of Rights. I think that's it. Until next time, y'all. Take care. Peace.